am recording. Here we go.
Okay.
Cool. So, yeah. So, could you tell us a little bit about Sao Paulo and what Brazil is like with Bolsonaro as president and stuff?
Yeah. It's pretty terrible with Bolsonaro here. Um, the gasoline is the same price as, for example, to buy euros. I think that's how you say it. It's quite expensive because it's always been expensive, but it's even more now because the economy is terrible. Um, São Paulo is a really big, not only a state but a city. We're not exactly in the city of São Paulo. We're in a like city that has a beach. It's called Santos, and a neighborhood in São Paulo is as big as the city we're in. So it's quite a big city. Most people only know about São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, but there are loads of great and amazing and beautiful cities here. I wouldn't know how to mention loads of them because there's not a name coming to mind now.
Hmm.
But it's a nice country, I think, if you ignore the politics or something.
That's just like United States. Like people
Yeah.
are like,
Yeah.
like
The culture is amazing. The culture here is amazing. The people are really
food,
great.
oh my
The
God.
food is the best part. It's quite a beautiful thing, and that's it. It's quite hot too. It's a hot country. There's no snow.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What do you think are some things that people outside of Brazil don't know about Brazil that you think they should know?
Well,
Basic geography.
yeah, basic geography probably. There are loads of people, mainly in the U.S., that think that Brazil is like in Africa or in Europe. Yeah, it's insane. But there are people who actually think that. There are people who believe we're still in the.
Sinal de fumaça, tá ligado?
Yeah, there are people who believe we don't have internet or this kind of stuff.
So
Yeah.
where do you guys do you guys travel whenever you have vacation? If you have vacation time or
We're
or
actually
the
on vacation
resources?
now.
Oh, really? Where are you guys vacationing now? Are you in?
Yeah,
see,
because it's
Yeah.
summer here.
That's right.
I believe
Lucky.
that it's winter for you, but it's
It
like
is.
summer.
Don't rub it in. Yeah.
It's like middle of the summer.
Do you guys ever travel to Argentina or Uruguay or?
For Argentina and Paraguay.
Yeah, it's like not that easy, mainly from São Paulo, because it's quite far, even though it's like next to each other. Mainly because it's expensive, to go there. It's hard for you to go with your car, but we've been to there once when we were younger. We were like kids. We barely remember that, and it was like for some hours because we were in a next city, the one that is like
Foz do Iguaçu.
yeah, Foz do Iguaçu,
Hmm.
and we just decided we were going there, and we did. But it wasn't that much, and I think it was summer.
Do you when you think about the United States, what are some things that you think are like the positives about our country, about the United States, and what do you think are some of the negatives about the U.S.?
Yeah, it's a hard question, but I think some of the good things would be also one of the bad things. It's because of probably the easy way in which things there get known by the rest of the world, like artists. It's easier for you to know an North American artist than a South American one, because United States is like influences the whole world. Whatever happens in the U.S., the whole world would be knowing in like less than 24 hours, and that could be a bad thing because probably the mental health of many of those artists too. To get known very quickly about everything and the way it influences probably wouldn't be good. For example, in Brazil, loads of people feel the need to know English when you don't have to. They're probably not going to the US because of, whatever, money and this kind of stuff. But people say, like, you gotta know, because everybody, wherever in the world you go, knows how to speak English. So they believe you have to, you know.
What are some kind of like social issues that are happening in Brazil right now that you care about?
Pretty much all of them, I think.
Could you elaborate like the first things that come to
Yeah,
mind?
yeah. Probably the LGBTQ community, mainly because I'm a part of it.
Hmm.
It's quite terrible because the president is a homophobe and transphobe, and it's terrible.
Tudo que é de ruim no mundo.
Yeah, everything you can think of bad, he is. Um, Feminism.
Pessoas na vida.
Yeah. Ageism.
Eu não sei, tia.
It's my mom.
That's okay.
And yeah, I think that's it. She's gonna talk to him.
Oh, okay. Is gay marriage is that legal in Brazil?
I don't really know, but I think so. It's legal. I think it's legal, but I'm
So-
not sure. Maybe I think it varies from city to city.
Oh, interesting. So if you wanted, let's say if you wanted to get married to a woman, would you be able to where you're living right now?
I'm not quite sure. I really
You
don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think that Bolsonaro will continue to be president in the next few terms or the next few years, or do you think he'll be voted out?
I honestly hope not. I honestly do hope that he doesn't.
Interesting.
Probably won't.
So you think he'll be voted out?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we here in the United States, we weren't sure if Donald Trump was going to be voted out, and then we had last January, we had a bunch of people. I don't know. You may know that our Capitol was stormed by a mob of people. Like our Capitol building was broken into, and do you think that will happen in Brazil if Bolsonaro is not elected?
There's a great chance that it happens, but I don't think so.
Okay. Interesting.
É um site, não tem nada de mal. É só um site, tia.
I'm distracted. Sorry.
Yeah, it's no problem.
And what are some other things that you'd want to kind of talk about? What are some things that you really care about that you think that other people out in the world should know or should think about?
aleatório, a gente nunca mais vai ver na vida.
Wait, could you repeat the last part?
Yeah.
What you said?
Yeah. What do you think are some things that you care about that other people should know or should think about? You think like any words of wisdom or thoughts?
Probably the quality of life of people who live like in the favelas. And the ways they're like fighting to get food. So I don't know if it's happening yet. Probably is. But people not a long time ago were like selling the bones of the like meat for the people who couldn't afford the meat itself.
Jeez.
I think people should know more about it.
Do you ever? Would you feel safe going to a favela? Is that like? I guess the favelas are known as like very poor, very dangerous, very violent. I'm wondering if that characterization is misrepresented. Like, are favelas actually very dangerous, or would you feel comfortable going to a favela and?
Um, they are very dangerous, mainly because I think they're territorialists. You know, loads of them. When you have to like pass through them to get somewhere, there are people who like, with guns. They go around your car to make sure you're, just going through and not gonna do anything or try to get their territory out of, away from them. Um, so it's not safe. It's not a safe place, but it's certainly a place that needs help, from the government, because you can clearly see that they're really poor. Sometimes the biggest part of places there's like the city, of the people that can live with a high quality of life, and there's like right beside it the favelas. It's like almost connected.
It just gets me so angry. Like that, this is something that I am like I read about and I talk to people about. Is this that we have so much wealth in certain countries that you know where we could alleviate a lot of the suffering, a lot of the poverty in a lot of these places, and it just continues to not happen. And I just get so angry. I get so mad about this stuff.
Yeah,
Like
there's a lot that the government could do to really help it in a really good way that would end it all of the suffering, but they just don't, because they just don't want it. They rather ignoring it and saying it's all right, just like with the COVID. The
mm,
president said that it was all right, it wasn't going to turn up, you know on anything. It was going to be like nothing,
mm.
just a fast thing. We've been 2 years having to wear masks. We're not like allowed to walk around without masks. Mainly because there are a lot of people who don't want to get vaccinated.
That's crazy. Yeah. What is the vaccination rate in? Do you know what the vaccination rate is in Brazil? Like how many people,
Um,
percentage wise?
I don't know. I don't know how many people, but it should be everybody
Yeah.
in the in between of 12 years old and I think like maybe 80, 90 years old. um, they're starting to vaccinate kids like younger than 12 or 11 or something. My sister is 11 years old and she hasn't got vaccinated, not even the first one. But they're starting it, so it should be this whole quantity of the people, which is like I think the biggest part of the population of Brazil. But it isn't, or because people mainly like couldn't get to the places to get vaccinated,
Mm.
or they just, they're saying you're gonna get AIDS if you get vaccinated, or just going to gay.
No, no. Well, I mean, I guess it depends, right? Because like, what are the? You have to be able to have like facilities that are not reusing needles. Like you have to have that kind of
Yeah,
basic. If you don't have that
yeah,
basic infrastructure, then you may have that risk. But the chances are, like, if it's a government-run organization, those precautions will be taken. I mean, I would hope. But
yeah.
so can I ask you like how you learned English so well? Your English is so good.
Um, oh, well, thank you. I don't exactly know how I learned English. I studied it since I was 9.
Okay.
So it's been a long time, I think. But I don't really learn with school. I think it was mainly with songs, music, that I used to like get the
I do
lyrics.
classes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, I used to get like the songs and the lyrics, and I would read to them until I had it in my mind, and then I would like see the translation, and I think that's how I learned it with series. Yes, the school helped, but I think it was mostly it. Books too.
How many languages do you speak? Just Portuguese and English?
Yeah, only the
That's
both of them.
that's good. I mean, like like in the United States, Americans are so lazy because everyone learns English, so we're just like, why do we need to learn anything else? You know,
Yeah,
it's like it's such a lazy kind of a mindset. Whereas, like, if you live in
yeah,
Europe or you live in South America, you learn Spanish, you learn Portuguese, you learn. If you're in Europe, you learn German, you learn Italian.
yeah.
It seems like I don't know, like a more globalized kind of a mindset, whereas in America and
Yeah.
Americans tend to kind of be isolated. We're isolationists. You know, we're so like, yeah, in our own kind of world. But so now, what like I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're working currently, but like, what
What?
what would you like to do? Like, are you a student right now?
Yeah, I'm a student.
What do you think you'd like to do as you get older?
Probably something with music.
Hmm. Cool. Like, how so?
Like probably playing guitar, maybe writing songs, having a band would be nice.
Wow. Would you want to like do that in Brazil? Do you want to kind of stay in Brazil, or would you like to travel? Or yeah.
I would probably like to travel because, Brazil is amazing. The culture is amazing, but it's not only because it's hard, it's not only the problems that you have to become an artist in Brazil, but, you know, it seems easier. For example, in the US, I would like to go to the US. Um, and the kind of songs that I would like to make, the kind of influence I have in music and for making music and this kind of stuff, I don't believe I would be able to do something with it in Portuguese. I think it would like
Mm.
not sound good,
Hmm.
even though I love Brazilian musics and songs in Portuguese and this kind of stuff. I don't think I would be able to do it. To make a lyric that would fit the kind of song I try to create, in the guitar.
Is there a
I
certain
don't
kind?
think it
Oh yeah.
has. I don't think Portuguese has the same impact as English, even though I love Portuguese, and I think we should, value the Brazilian musicians.
That's interesting. That's the first time that anyone has ever kind of like articulated that there isn't the kind of like I don't want to say prestige, but or the kind of influence like you were saying that English has is I guess more there's just you have more influence as an English singer or songwriter or musician than
Yeah.
Portuguese. Wow. Why do you think that is? Is it just because like English is heard by everyone, but heard by more people?
Yeah, I think probably that's the reason. And the thing is sad, the globalization of English and the United States and everything that happens in there, you know?
Hmm. Is there like the kind of music, the kind of like idea or essence of the music, the art that you want to create? Like what is it that you want to say with it? Like what if you could be heard by millions and millions of people, like what is the message that you want people to walk away with?
Probably not to be so mean to each other and pay more attention to each other's problems. Not just like as mental health or, physical health or anything like that. But as the isms, that happens, and for them to stop being so, close minded, you know, to for them to open their minds, maybe to try to understand other people's thoughts and feelings and opinions.
That's beautiful. That's deep. That's awesome. Do you happen to have like a website or a SoundCloud or anything to share that people could go and
No,
listen to?
no, I've just started making my first song like some weeks ago, a week
Cool.
maybe. I have like the guitar and the lyrics, which suck, but that's
Hey,
it.
don't be
And
don't be
then,
yeah, but don't be hard on yourself. Do not be like everyone else is so hard. Like you have to treat yourself right, okay? Like you have to treat yourself
okay,
right.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you. But I don't have like I don't know anybody who plays a bass or that has a bass or the drums, So I have basically the guitar and the lyrics, and that's basically it.
well, well, whenever you do get, um, whenever you get like a website or something to be able, a YouTube channel to be able to share your stuff, like shoot me an email or just comment on this video, and then I'll be able to 202. I'll be able to like share that with people and get your work out too. We all have to help each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to say or share, or any kind of like last words of?
I don't think so.
Cool. Well, it was really nice to
Yeah.
meet you and your sister, and yeah, good luck with
Cause
everything. Yeah.
Yeah. She's my cousin.
Oh, this is your cousin. Okay, cool.
Yeah, my
yeah,
cousin.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping and for chatting a little bit. This is really nice.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
Yeah. And make sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading this video. It'll probably be up in like 15 minutes or something. So you'll be able to
Okay.
check it
Okay.
out. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys later.
Bye. Nice to
Bye.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hmm. Yeah, we're so privileged as English speaking people to be able to like have the kind of influence, you know. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm feeling underwhelmed. Underwhelmed by, I guess, my own interviewing or something. I don't know. I'm just being hard on myself. These girls were, I mean, this girl was extremely articulate, and man, I would love to help her in some way, you know, like. It just sucks that, like, we can't really, like. It's just, there's so many billions of people in this world. I was just talking to my friend, he was in Egypt for 2 weeks. He said everyone was poor in Egypt. Like, everyone, he looked around, like, everyone was, like, people were begging for money. The favelas, you know, how there were, like, favelas right next to these rich people's houses, and, like, I don't know. There's just so much to fucking do. This is really overwhelming, right? Really, the only thing that we can do is live the way that we want the world to be. Like, that's how we have to live. We have to live with an open heart. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to learn and listen and see the suffering. We have to see the suffering. We have to take like responsibility for it as well. But not in a way that's like, not in a way that is guilt-ridden or stifling, right? Like, we have to see it, we have to understand it, we have to be with it, and then we just have to let it go and live our lives in a virtuous way, in an open way, and in a creative way to help lift the world up. That's what we have to do. It's just so overwhelming because it's so much. It's so much. Reading books on education reform, reading books on how to maximize countries and populations and a society's liberty. You know, understanding voting rights and democracy and all of these things. All this knowledge is important. Tying that knowledge in with wisdom is imperative. And then not only is the knowledge there, the wisdom needs to come from being empathetic, not only empathetic, but compassionate, like being with a person and listening with a person, being there present, while also understanding kind of like how to be compassionate and loving and utilitarian in a loving, thoughtful way. That, all these things, plus like not getting in your own head, Like, we are our own worst enemies, you know? Like, we have this self monologue that we tell ourselves that beats that we're just like not enough. We suck. We're not great. Um, you know, these things stifle us. These things stop us from taking necessary action. Demoralizes us, you know, like that self-talk and that self-doubt, and also ego, and this idea of like what the right thing is or the perfect thing. Like perfectionism stifles action, and we have to we have to we have to act. We have to create. We have to put our heart into it, and we cannot stop. We can't stop. It's just a lot. I think for me, on my end, to be honest and open, which I'm working on, it's hard for me to constantly keep going. You know, I need rest. I need time to. I think for me, like a lot of my motivations come from just like wanting to make money from things, you know. Acting, it's like, okay, I want to act and then I want to make money from that. This YouTube channel, like, I would love to get to a point where I can make money from it. But then whenever I have money and the scarcity mindset, whenever I have money on the mind, the quality of the stuff that I do is not, it just doesn't shine, you know, it does not. The essence just kind of gets muddied. And so what's important is just creating from a place of real authenticity and sincerity for doing what you feel is right for this world. And trusting and having faith that financially you will be rewarded as a byproduct of creating that true art that you make. You know, this is stuff that I am struggling with, because at this point, like, I put my heart into a lot of my craft, you know, writing and acting, and I'm not, I mean, I'm still relatively young, but I haven't like made a ton of money from putting my heart and my soul into stuff and committing, you know. I have done a lot, and I have not been rewarded financially, and feel like, I don't know, I mean, I'm certainly not a victim, but I wish that I were rewarded financially for doing the things that I really love to do. I believe that I deserve that. And it's just difficult to. I think that, you know, you just have to continue to do it and have faith that that financial byproduct will come from constant effort, constant commitment to the craft, to the artwork, you know. I think that that is the key, and that's a hard thing to power through. You know, I don't think that these interviews, I mean, I thank you so much for speaking with me today. If you're watching this video, if you're continuing to stick with this, with my rambling, with my monologue, my diatribe. But I don't think that I am as connecting. I don't feel like I'm connecting as well, at least with you today, and with some other interviews. Like, it's hard to connect. It is just hard to connect. It's hard to have a meaningful conversation. There are people out there who are willing and wanting to have them, though. You know, I think that's clear. I mean, I've done like 330 interviews or something. It's clear just how it is clear how many people want to actually have a conversation on this thing. You know, people are reaching out, people are wanting to connect, and there is something there. There is something here. Anywho, I think I'm gonna write a little fiction now. Maybe read a little bit. I don't know, but anyhow, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support, and we'll be seeing you the next time.